Hey everyone, this is Christopher. So today I'm briefly going to show how to format an essay using the MLA, which is also known as the Modern Language Association, and the APA, which is also known as the American Psychological Association. These are two of the most common styles used in colleges and in the universities. Okay, so let's start with the MLA formatting. So with the MLA formatting, you open a blank space of the Microsoft Word, okay, and you go to layout. So when you go to layout, you have to click on margin and select the normal. The normal contains one each at the side, all the side of the blank space. So therefore, when you type in, there is a space of 1 inch. Okay, then you go to home. You go to home and you select your font size and your font. So normally the font that we use is the Time New Roman, and we always use 12 point. We always use 12 point. So you make sure that in the spacing, you do double spacing. So in doing double spacing, what you have to do is that you have to select all the essay, the written essay. In selecting all, you press Ctrl and A. Then you go to home. Then you click online. Then you click on paragraph, which will lead you to selecting the spaces. Okay, so when you get there, we have 0.5 space, 1.5, 1. Okay, so we are looking at 2.0. So we select 2.0. Okay, and we also have to make sure that the alignment, the written alignment is always, the essay should be always be at the left alignment. Okay, at the left alignment. Then it's very important that we also select the page numbers. So in selecting the page numbers, we go to insert. Okay, after home view, you go to insert. Okay, then you select the page number. We are looking at the top of the page. Top of the page. Okay, so we are typing. So we need to type our last name before the page number. Our last name before the page number. So we are putting in our last name. That is the page number. We include our last name and our page number. And where do we put it? We put it at the upper right corner. At the upper right corner. Okay. So that will lead us to the next step. So the 6th point is where we start with the creating the heading. So in creating the heading, we always do it at the upper left corner. Upper left corner. So it includes basically your name. So my name is Christopher. I'm here too, and my instructor's name, which is the Professor Wagon. Then we select a course, so English 101, 1101. Yeah. Then we select the date. So the date should be in this format: day, month, years. Day, month, year. Okay. So after doing that, we also have to make sure that we add the title. we add the title. In adding the title, we have to do it at the center. You have to do it at the center. So in getting to the next place, you click on enter, then either you use the space bar to get to the center, okay, and you make sure that the title is not bolding or italicized or in quotation, okay. It should be in the same font and the font size like the whole essay, okay, but it should be at the center. It should be at the center. And this leads us to the writing of the essay. In writing the essay, we have to make sure that we leave an indent of 0.5. So imagine of 0.5 before we 0.5 inches before we start writing our first line, which is the paragraph. Okay. Then it leads us to the most important thing, which is the in-text citation. How do we do the in-text citation? So example, let's say that our topic is composition and rhetoric, okay, and let's say the author is Christopher Apietu. With the MLA, we are going to always take the last name and the page number. So that is what we are going to do. Then we come to the work cited page. So we come to a new fresh page. Then we title it the work cited. So in work cited, probably you have a lot of cited work. So you make sure that they are alphabetized with the last name of the author. Okay. Then we go to the second most important one, which is the APA. So APA, let's say the 7th edition. So this style is commonly used in the psychology, nursing, education, and social sciences. So it's the same format. We open a new blank document in Microsoft Office or Microsoft Word. Then we go to layout, margin normal to create the margin, which is 1 inches all round. It is 1 inches. Then we look at the font size, and the font, always the font size is 12 points, and the font is Time New Roman. Then we go to, as usual, we go to insert number page and make sure that we have our page number written at the top right. So in getting that, we have to go to insert page number. Okay. Then this leads us to creating the title page. So in creating the title page, over here, there is a slight difference on what we are going to do. We are going to bolding and center the title page. Then afterwards, we are going to bring the student name, which is my name, all at the right corner, but the title, the title of the topic we are dealing with will be centered. So after we have done that, then we will bring the usual information, which is the name of the student, the institution, which is Gwinnett Technical College, the course name, which is English 101, and the course name, which is composition and rhetoric, the instructor's name, the date, all at the upper right corner. But we should make sure that the essay title is bolded and centered at the top before all this information comes. Okay. Then we begin with the main essay. In beginning the main essay, we repeat. This is one of the most important things. It's quite different from that we saw in the MLA. Over here, we repeat the title again, also in bold and in centered. Bold and centered. And usually we begin without adding the word introduction. We begin without adding the word introduction. Then, in starting the paragraph, as usual, we leave 0.5 inches before we start a fresh or the first line. And we start the first line. Then we go to the intercitation. Over here, the intercitation requires that we include the author's name and the year. Unlike the MLA where we use the author's name and the page number, over here we're going to use the year. And sometimes to indirect quotation, we are going to use the author's name, the year, and the page. Author's name, the year, and the page. Okay. So we get to the new fresh page to reference all the references that we made. Okay, so we write boldly reference at a new page. It should be bolded and it should be also centered. Then we have to alphabetize all our entries, or the references that we made. So probably if we have 5 references, we alphabetize them using their last name. Okay, so that is it. And probably we could also see the difference that we made. The most important difference is how we did the test citation. At the MLA, we use the author and we use the page number. The APA, we use the author and we use the year. Okay, and where do we usually use the MLA? We are saying that we are using MLAs in humanities and we are using APA in social sciences, nursing, and psychology. Thank you.